What's up, YouTubers? This is Mr. Monkey Swag, and when I was looking at AppMex today, I've noticed that there's a new special Britannia that's put out by the Royal Mint. So this special Britannia is the 2018 Oriental Border Britannia. So here's a close-up picture of the Oriental Britannia. So you can see some Oriental designs on the border of the Britannia. So I find that very interesting. But what's really cool about the new Oriental Border Britannia is that it's inspired by a historical coin. The Oriental Border Britannia was inspired by the British trade dollar. The British trade dollar was a coin that was produced from 1895 to 1935. The British trade dollars were produced to circulate in China and Japan. So I will tell you guys about the history of the British trade dollar that this Britannia was based on. So this is the coin that I was talking about. What you see right here is a British trade dollar. This is the coin that the Oriental Britannia was based on. So you can see the similarity between the British trade dollar and the new Britannia. They both have that Oriental border design. So here is the new Britannia with the Oriental design. And here is the British trade dollar with the same Oriental bordering. This particular trade dollar is dated 1934. As I said before, the British trade dollars were produced from 1895 to 1935. During the late 1800s, China was one of the most isolated nations on Earth. The Chinese government banned foreigners from entering the country. However, many Western nations like Great Britain have ambitions of trading with China. The British wanted to trade opium with China. For those of you guys who don't know what opium is a drug. So the British wanted to trade drugs with Chinese citizens. It's kind of funny to think of it that way, but the main goal of Great Britain is that they wanted to open up China to trade with them. However, the Chinese doesn't want anything to do with Western nations. They don't want to trade with the West. So, Great Britain and China fought in a war called the Opium War. And China lost the Opium War, which would mean that Great Britain forced China to open up trade with the West, which is why the British trade dollar is necessary. As I said before, the British victory over China during the Opium Wars forced China to open up trade with the West. So the British government created the trade dollar in 1895 to purchase goods from China. The British trade dollar contains 27 grams of 90% silver, and these coins were produced from 1895 to 1935. So here is another picture of a British trade dollar, but you'll notice that it looks different. So you'll notice that there are Chinese characters stamped all over the coin. These are called chop marks. So a Chinese merchant would stamp characters all over the coin to guarantee the authenticity of the coin's silver. You'll see many trade dollars with chop marks stamped all over the coin. There are some mixed opinions regarding chop marks. Some coin collectors regard chop marks as damage to the coin. Other collectors appreciate chop marks because of their historical significance. Personally, I really don't care much about chop marks. I do find them interesting. So, back then, Chinese merchants would stamp chop marks onto the coin to guarantee the coin's silver content. In conclusion, I would say I'm interested in buying at least one of these Oriental Britannias to add to my collection. I hope that, when I tell you guys about the history of this design, that it gives you guys a new perspective about this coin. Because when most people see this coin, they only think about it as, bullion. They never think about the coin's history. After all, this Oriental Britannia was based on the British trade dollar, an actual historic coin that circulated in China. So I hope you guys find my history lesson interesting. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and please hit that bell button.